Hi everybody, welcome back to Right to the Top. For those of you who are new, I'm Adam, nice to meet you. For those of you who are coming back, welcome back, nice to see you again. This week, I'm going to be a little bit confusing. Maybe you've thought so before, but this week you'll really think that English is a very confusing language, and it is. And a lot of it has to do with collocations, how words are grouped together to have different meanings sometimes than the words themselves. So let me get to the point here. What am I going to talk about this week? I'm going to talk to you about speak up, speak out, speak down to, speak over or speak across, speak of, speaking of, to speak of, or know something to speak of, speak to, speak about, speak with, and speak from. All the different combinations of speak plus prepositions, all of them have different meanings. Some of them are standard collocations, meaning the words keep their meanings and functions, or phrasal verbs, where they're idiomatic and they mean something completely different. So let's dive right in, and today we're going to look at speak up versus speak out. Now, as a collocation, speak up basically means speak louder. Speak up the volume, right? Very straightforward. As an idiomatic phrasal verb, speak out and speak up are very similar. They both mean to express your opinion, clearly be heard. The main difference is that usually speak up means for something. Speak up for yourself. Speak up for the struggles of marginalized communities. Speak up for freedoms, etc. Speak out, usually against. Speak out against corruption. Speak out against the government's taking over your freedoms or whatever you want to speak out against. Speak out against abuse. So those are the main differences. So let me give you some example sentences. It's loud in here, so please speak up so I can hear you. Very straightforward. If you want your political leaders to understand your concerns, speak up and let them know. Means be heard. Share your opinion. Don't be shy about it. I don't have to use the for. I could just say speak up or speak up for your rights. You can add whatever specific thing you want to fight for, you want to be heard about. If you disagree with your leader's direction for the country, speak out and try to change it. Speak out against their policies. Speak out to create change. Okay? So those are the two we're starting with. Speak up, speak out. Now, let's move on to another pair. Okay, so next we're going to look at speak down to versus speak over or speak across, right? They more or less mean the same thing. When you speak down to somebody, you're basically looking down at them. You're thinking that they are less than you, lower than you, or maybe they're not intelligent enough to understand what you're saying. When you speak down to somebody, it's very insulting, right? You shouldn't try to do that. You should speak directly to someone, not down to someone. So a good teacher does not speak down to his students. Instead, he shows them he has the confidence in their ability to understand and encourages questions, for example. A teacher never talks down or speaks down to his students. And by the way, in many of these collocations, you can replace speak with talk. Speak up, speak up. Speak out, speak out. You can't use talk, but speak down to, talk down to, more or less the same thing. Speak over. When you speak over someone, means you're not really caring, you don't care if they actually hear you or listen to you or understand you. You're trying to speak over them, you're just trying to be heard. You're not trying to necessarily communicate. So when you watch on television, especially news channels, and they have like a panel of experts who know everything about the topic, and they're all trying to talk at the same time, they're all speaking over each other, such that nobody's listening, and because everybody's talking, nothing can be understood, right? Now, speak across, or talk across to someone, basically the same idea. You're going through them. You're not going to them, through them, or over them. It's the same idea. And speak over, talk over, same idea. So television debates typically devolve into pundits speaking over each other to be heard, so that ultimately no one is intelligible. Nobody can understand anything because nobody can actually hear anything. Okay? Speak down to, speak over, across. Let's move on to the next set of collocations. Okay, so now we're going to look at speak of, speaking of, to speak of. Now, they all sound very similar. You think they all mean the same thing, but different contexts, different uses. And that's another key element in understanding collocations, context. Sometimes context will help you guess which meaning is being used. Sometimes it's not. You just need to understand the word. So when we say speak of, it basically means we're referring to the presence of something. Speak of something that is present. It's a little bit formal, and I'll give you an example in a moment. Or we can speak about something in a certain way. And we're going to use an adverb with this collocation. So let me give you an example. The artwork speaks of the artist's struggles with addiction, right? So the artwork, the painting, obviously it doesn't speak, and we can't use the word talk in this collocation. It's only speak of. So the artwork speaks of the struggles means it makes you aware that they exist, that there is a presence of the struggles of addiction in the artwork. The manager spoke so well of his assistant that she was promoted to her own managerial position. Speak well of, speak poorly of. Speak in a certain way about something, someplace, some thing in order to give an impression of it. Okay, so that is speak of. Speaking of, and it's always ing, which is why I'm still including it here, even though it's a different part of speech, a different formation. When you're speaking of, it's always just you remembered something and you're introducing a new topic. So last week I went on vacation with my family. Oh, speaking of family, how is your mother? So I remembered something and I'm introducing that topic based on what I said before. Okay? More common in spoken English, not so common in written English. To speak of. To speak of we generally use with the word no, plus a noun or adjective, etc. No sales to speak of. Means not enough. It's not worth mentioning because there wasn't enough of it. So over the past 6 months, there have been no real sales to speak of. A few sales here and there, but not enough that's worth mentioning. So the owner is actually thinking of shutting down the business and moving headquarters to a new location. No something to speak of. Not enough. Not worth mentioning. Okay? Those are your 3 collocations for now. We're going to move to the next. Okay, so now let's move on to speak to and speak about. Let's start with speak about, actually, because it's easier. It just means talk about a topic. Speak about, talk about, same thing. What's the difference? Some people think that speak is just more formal, but it's really not. And in most cases, the main difference would be you talk to 1, 2, 3 people, you speak to a larger crowd. That's why it's called a speech. So speak about, talk about a topic, that's fine. So older people love to speak to the younger generation about the good old days of their youth. Okay, that's speak about. Speak to could be a little bit tricky. You can speak to someone, basically you have a direct conversation. So speak to someone, you're talking to them. Speak to, talk to, same idea. Again, some people think speak to is a little bit more formal. You can also use speak to talk about something that affects you emotionally. It creates a certain feeling in you. Something speaks to you, it moves you emotionally somehow. You can also use speak to point something out, to draw attention to something, right? So let's start with some examples. Van Gogh's paintings really speak to me. They move me like no other artist's work. So Van Gogh's work, it doesn't actually talk, there's no voice, it's a canvas with paint on it, but it speaks to me. It makes me feel something. That's one meaning. The media's silence on the issue speaks to the problem of neutrality in today's political landscape. Speaks to the problem, basically it points out the problem. It refers to the problem. It makes you aware that there is a problem. Speak to. Okay, let's move on to the last group. Okay, and finally we have speak with and speak from. So speak with is very similar to speak to, talk with, talk to. Basically have a conversation, have a dialogue with somebody, very direct. Again, speak with, talk to, the idea is that one is more formal than the other, but both are interchangeable at any time. You can also use speak with to talk about the way in which you speak with someone, right? Speak with, and then put a noun after it, or an adjective sometimes. So let me give you an example. A person who speaks with conviction is often listened to more so than one who speaks hesitantly. So again, you can use speaks with a noun, or you can just use the adverb. Speaks with conviction, speaks with authority, speaks authoritatively, right? Either way works, they mean the same way, but it just gives you more options, especially in terms of writing. And then it's basically the style of speaking. Speak from. Speak from basically tells you where the talk is coming from. It could be an emotional place, it could be experience, etc., right? So my grandmother always spoke from the heart and always listened when I shared my stories with her. You can speak from experience, you can speak from an understanding of something, right? All kinds of different sources of support for what you have to say. So there you go, a whole bunch of different ways to use the verb speak plus a preposition. Some are standard collocations, some are idiomatic phrasal verbs. Either way, make sure you understand the context and which expression you want to use. Again, try to use all of these in your own sentences. You can ask me questions about it in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share this channel and these videos with your friends, help everybody improve their English, their vocabulary, their usage, etc. And look for a PDF of this video you can download if you want to refresh your memory and review everything that I've said. Okay? See you next week with some more collocations, idioms, compounds, etc. Bye-bye.